Sometimes the garden is just extra plentiful. And with all those fresh vegetables, we need to find a way to preserve it so that our efforts don't go to waste. So many cucumbers and zucchini. I think I still have more. I think that's all I have right now. I'm going to make pickles. I think I'll make bread and butter pickles, and I'm going to make zucchini relish because some of these are really overgrown. I'm going to start with the cucumbers because I think they're getting soft the quickest, and I don't have to use my food processor for them, and the baby's sleeping right now. So I'll use a mandolin to slice these up, and it won't make too much noise and wake the baby. I washed all the cucumbers really well, and now I'm using a mandolin to slice them up into about 1/8 to 1/16 of an inch. I make sure to also cut off any bad spots because I don't want them to compromise the final product. There is a lot of flexibility in the actual pickle shape, so you can do what your family likes best. I have 3 smaller pickles left. I'm going to save them for fresh eating. My kids will just munch on these later. A lot of these pickles had really overgrown their pickling cucumbers, but that's okay. The next step is pretty simple. There's not a lot we have left to do. I am going to spread these out. It's maybe a little tough. I'm going to get another bowl. Here we go. This bowl is probably a much better size. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle salt on this. And then I will just let it sit in the fridge for a couple hours. Since the baby's napping now and I'm going to have to make lunch very soon, I will probably get to it after lunchtime when the baby takes her second nap. So I'm sort of going to do it in layers where I like pour some cucumbers in. And I take a bit of salt. This is coarse kosher salt. You can use pickling salt. They're essentially the same thing. You want to use a coarser salt though so that it can wash off easier later. I put some salt. There I put about half a teaspoon. In total for all this, I'll probably use about 2 to 3 tablespoons. I just want to make sure that all of the cucumbers get some salt on them. We'll see how much I can fit in this bowl. If they all fit, that would be great. I'm going to mix this a bit. You want to mix it around, make sure the salt gets on all of the cucumbers. I'm salting all of these cucumbers well because I want to make sure to extract as much water as possible from them. This will make sure they stay nice and crisp. And add it to this bowl. Perfect. That was pretty simple. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to leave this in the fridge for at least 2 to 3 hours. Put a lid on it and it goes. I almost forgot, I want to add onions as well. I just find they're really nice to have with the bread and butter pickles. You don't need to add onion to your pickles, but my family enjoys it. Bread and butter pickles seem to be my kids' favorite pickles, probably because they're a little extra sweet. They'll stay crisper if you chop them with the rings rather than from root to sprout. I think that's what you call it. So I'll do it that way. I don't usually have such a hard time when cutting onions, but these ones must have been recently picked because they were extra strong. I've grown my own onions before in the garden, but I had little success with the actual curing process. It's extremely humid around here, so I always had trouble where one ring would mold and then it would cause the whole onion to go bad. Instead, I just try to buy my onions locally. These onions made me cry. I'll add them to the same bowl as the cucumbers. I'll want to eventually mix them all together. Same thing as the cucumbers. Add some salt. Toss around. When they cook, they'll all mix. Get this back into the fridge. What I want to do next is to prepare the brine. I'm going to use the recipe from the Ball canning book. Home preserves, complete book of home preserves. This I'm going to be canning. It's going to be something we'll be eating all winter long. So I want to make sure that it's shelf stable, done properly. And so I'm going to follow this recipe. I won't be canning it right now, but I just want to prepare this so that if in the afternoon I'm busy, I left the fridge open. If in the afternoon I'm too busy, then it's just a quick thing. I don't have to, this is one less step for me to do. 3 cups white vinegar. 2 cups sugar. I should have done the sugar first because now it's going to stick. I'll use this instead. 1/2 cup measurement. 2 cups. Then I have 2 tablespoons of mustard seed. I'm surprised I actually could find these in my spice drawer because of the noise they make. The baby loves to play with them. She thinks it's a rattle. So it says 2 tablespoons mustard seeds. 1 teaspoon celery seed. 1 teaspoon ground turmeric. Perfect. This is ready now to boil. Afterwards, I will do that. Right now, I'm just going to put a lid on it and set it to the side. I'll just leave this on the stove for later. The next step is the zucchinis, and it's okay if the baby wakes now. So she's taken enough of a nap. I'm going to sort of go through these because I do want to keep some to eat fresh. Like this is a nice one. This one too. The smaller, softer ones, whereas the bigger ones like this, I'm going to make into relish. And I'll probably have some more in the garden soon enough. I think that's good. So all of these will be made into relish, and I'm just going to put these 3 back in the fridge to eat fresh. So this is going to be a relatively similar method to what I did with the pickles, but instead of slicing them, I'm going to pulse them down so that they're in like smaller chunks, relish sized. And I'm going to cut through these zucchinis and remove the seeds from it. We don't want seeds. They're really big zucchini seeds. So I'm going to take those out and then throw them in the food processor, pulse them down, put them into a bowl. I think I'll use this bowl because I don't have another one. And I'll probably do it in layers also. A layer of zucchini and then a layer of salt. I also want onion with this. So I'm going to go get some onions downstairs and I'll throw those in as well so it's nicely mixed. There's a bunch of onions. I store a lot of my bulk items downstairs. If only I could remember to get everything I need in one trip. These onions are just local onions. They're a little small. We bought a 10-pound bag of them. I think I'll put them just in this bowl to wait. If you know how to stop the onion sting, please let me know. Okay, that's done. My eyes are watering. I am going to chop, de-seed, and then put them into this bowl, and then after I can process them. And of course, I need to wash them, especially since I dropped a bunch of them on the floor again. Chop the ends off, open it up. Take some of the bigger seeds out. Some of them are going to have really large seeds and some of them not so much. But if they're really big, take them out. This one's actually not that bad. That looks good there. Just break these down into more manageable chunks. Whoops, I did this backwards. My discard bowl is on this side. No big deal. cut into pieces. I don't think I'm going to process these two. They're very large and the skin is really tough. So I think I'll just give them to a friend to feed to their chickens. So I'm going to take the zucchini. I'm going to put it in the food processor. Not too much. I don't want to crowd it. Now I need to work relatively quick because I know that the baby's going to wake up soon and I need to make lunch. I think that's actually too much. You want to press the button? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to sprinkle some onion in with it every time. Put the lid on.
Mine is not perfect.
I'll do it. Lid on. Do you know we're going to pulse? Okay. So this is what it looks like in here. It's just a bunch of little bits. Guys, you can't just eat yogurt all day long. Mary, this is like the last one I have to do. Yes, it is. After this, don't you dare push her. Same process here. I'm going to add some salt and then I will put it in the fridge to sit.
Mary, before you go play.
You want to put some? Okay, that's good. I'm just going to mix it. No, that's enough. I'm going to mix it in. Okay, good. Relish is normally made with pickles, but we're making. I will pop this in the fridge now and I will get to this probably tonight, a lot later in the day. This should sit for longer than the pickles. For lunch today, I am going to make some zucchini eggs. That's what we call it. It's a zucchini omelet. Since I have all the zucchini, I might as well. And I'm going to try to get that done real quick because kids are hungry. The way that I make these, I'm going to throw some onions into the pan. I will add a bit of bacon grease. You can use any oil, really. Same thing I did before with the zucchini. Salt this well. Add a little bit of water just to coat the bottom. A lid on it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Add a bit of salt. Don't spill them. Gently, slowly. I just spent several hours outside and it is so hot out today. I need to get these pickles done though, so I am going to do this now while the baby's sleeping and my other kids play outside. I'm going to put the cucumbers into the colander and I'm going to strain it. I'll probably rinse it off a bit to get the salt off. And then I will take that and I'll put it into the pot of boiling mixture that we made earlier, the brine. And once I do that, I will can them in jars. Actually, I'm gonna let this sit like that. There's so much liquid at the bottom of this bowl. Look at that. So that's exactly what the salt did, is it took all that liquid out of the cucumbers. Once the brine came to a boil, I put the cucumbers in it. I mixed them a bit just so they would get fully submerged. While I waited for it to come to a boil again, I got my mason jars ready and all my canning equipment. Make sure to stay close because there's sugar in this and it can easily overflow. So once it started boiling again, it was time for me to start the canning process. and I ladled the cucumbers and brine mixture into mason jars. Here I used a metal skewer just around the edges of the jar to make sure there were no air bubbles. You could use a fork or a chopstick, whatever you have handy. Then I took a paper towel, I wet it a bit, and I wiped the rim. You want to make sure that there's no liquid or anything sticky on it. I used a new lid and the ring was finger tight, and then I moved on to the next. I did these jars one at a time just because my baby was awake and I didn't know if the kids would need me at any point. Luckily, I did not have any major interruptions. It is time to finish the zucchini relish. It has been sitting in the fridge for a little longer than I wanted, but that's okay. It's sat overnight. I was hoping to get to it yesterday. There's a lot of salt in it, so I want to get the salt out of it. I'm going to wash it, and then I'm going to strain it in this. I'll transfer it to a bigger bowl. It'll just be easier for me to wash it. I'm going to want to let it sit out to strain. I want to get as much liquid out as possible. I'm going to take this and I'm just going to press it to get the water out. Here I made the brine. I will include the recipe for this in the description below. I used the same process here. I waited for it to come to a boil, and then I carefully poured the zucchini in. You want to be very careful here because the sugar can easily burn. I let this sit until it returned to a boil, and then I moved on to the next step, canning it into jars. My kids taste tested this and they loved it. Canning food doesn't have to be something where you do it in excess or bulk all the time. Sometimes it's just a bit every day that slowly adds up, and it allows you to build a food pantry that you can rely on when you need to. I now have pickles and relish that my family can enjoy this winter. And fortunately for me, I know I can go out to the garden and do it all over again.